Oh, the point is just to create a unity, a community in the school system. It's instead of taking it fragmented of teachers versus students and these kids versus those kids and boys versus girls, it's allowing them to see each other, an opportunity to see each other, and to experience their joys and their suffering, and to let them know that they're not alone in the way that they're feeling, and that the way they are feeling is acceptable, the good and the bad, the anger and the pain and the love and the, you know, and those dreams. I mean, it's allowing that to come to fruition, and having your, and what a joy for me to see kids that wouldn't normally be supporting each other to say, wow, I get you, and I want to support you. I want to see you thrive and to achieve those goals. And it's like, that's why I do this, is because that's invariably the end result. Ultimately for me, I'm going to just speak for me, is I want to see the fire, the light, the hopes and the dreams in these kids stay alive. They have it. They've had it for years. And it's about this age in the teenagers where a lot of things are happening at home and at school, peer pressure, and are they dressing right, and, you know, where do I fit? Do I fit into this group or that group? And it's so easy to be taken out of the game, and feeling unsupported and feeling alone and feeling isolated. It's kind of a part of the system that has been created in schools and just kind of in our society in general. And my dream is to see these dreams of these individual kids to just come to fruition. And the only way that can happen is if they're supporting each other, if they're acknowledging each other. They don't have to agree with each other, but the respect and like, I disagree with, you know, maybe where you're going, but I respect that, you know, you're stepping up and you're trying to do something more. That's the end result. That's what I want to see in the schools. And with the teachers too, when the teachers and students can kind of level out and be on the same playing field of, you know, I see you, and, you know, and I respect you as a student, or I respect you as a teacher, or as an adult, or a mentor. You know, that's the ultimate goal. Because other than that, you're just crashing heads, and it becomes a fight, and it becomes defensiveness, and that's what I see a lot of in the school system.
More recently, there have been like a lot of suicides, and there are a lot of kids involved in harmful activities, and we hope that through our program we can sort of wean them off of that and get them to feel more in touch with the community. The kids are a part of the community, and they are the future. I'm part of that generation, and I feel that if we strengthen their bond with each other and with the rest of the community, we can create sort of a more harmonious situation for everyone. Hopefully we'll be able to sort of get everyone involved. I mean, what Grant always says is that it takes a village to raise a child, and I believe that's absolutely true. There are so many negative media influences and so many negative things going on in the world that we need to sort of lock on to these kids and get them to have a more positive effect, take in more positive things, and release them into the world.
Our mission is to empower students to support each other in a safe school environment through respect, compassion, and dignity. Our vision is whereby the EDGE imagines a world where our youth coexist peacefully by acknowledging each other and celebrating their values and gifts. That is the mission statement and the vision statement of the EDGE. Okay. And I think it's critically important today and our culture, that we start listening to them and teach them in a different way to where they feel heard and, as I said, respected through dignity and their values and their gifts, so we can understand what they are. And we need to do this by giving them an opportunity to become emotionally intelligent. And I think that this is being overlooked, where the academia is what is the preference is. And if we forget what they feel, if we forget the problems that they experience every day, particularly around bullying and broken homes that they come from, how can they learn? How can they pay attention and retain the information they're getting, whether it's history or English or social studies? They're in trouble. And I believe The Edge is one of the ways where we can give them an opportunity to heal and feel better about themselves and each other in relationship to each other.
Our hope with The Edge is to get people comfortable enough with the concept that they're not alone, that they won't separate themselves in society, that they can walk up and defend each other. They can walk up and see somebody that's in pain and reach out to help. They can create a more loving, accepting society.
So the purpose of The Edge is to build a sense of community, a sense of belonging, and trust in a school environment where the kids want to be there and learn.
The Edge gives students an opportunity to deal with the stresses and issues in their life in a more effective and efficient way to allow them to better achieve their education. One of the luxuries that schools frequently don't have is the free time, the opportunity to be able to address students as individuals, students as not the people that they are just in the classroom, but as the people that they bring into the classroom. The places where their life is successful, is feeling good, and the places where their life is in whatever way challenging. And in this day and age, that's the case for many, 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 many students. I'm not sure that there would be any students who aren't facing some kind of life challenges on some level, whether it's being overachievers, whether it's being kids who have a hard time even being motivated to be at school, and all of the various levels in between.
This is The Edge is an answer that will bring us to rewards in society. You're constantly hearing people talk about their fears and how they've created this separation, which is creating violence in their communities, not just the world, but in their little small town USA, and the fear that we've got to lock things up. And I don't know that will ever go away, but at least coming to the point where I don't have to be in fear because I'm meeting somebody because of the way they dress, the way they look, their fashion accessories, their tattoos, or whatever it is. I can look at them and accept them as a human being. And if we can get that, then the community can come to another level and start moving to the world market.
would feel better about sending your kid to a public school because chances are he wouldn't be bullied. And with that kind of threat of a predator looking out for him, how can he achieve at school living in fear? That's why I would want you to care. I would want you to care because there's a program that cares enough to make something free of cost from people coming from the heart who do not care about making money, that kids are going to have an opportunity to start telling the truth and have better relationships not only with each other but with their teachers. Because when they see vulnerability in their teachers, they trust them and they're more inclined to want to please them, and they'll be more interested in what they're learning. Who doesn't want a school like that?
So through the EDGE, it allows the schools, the young men and women, and the teachers also, parents and the mentors, it allows everyone the opportunity to shine, to accept and acknowledge. I don't want to say only their greatnesses, but to acknowledge the weaknesses. And it's like, I see your pain, or, but to accept that, and not that it's wrong, and you're angry, not that it's wrong. It's like, I get it. Share that with me. And when I can be accepted for who I am, then I'm going to step up and do great things. And I've seen it hundreds of times over with these kids. When you give them the opportunities to be great, they take that. They want that. And the EDGE, that's what we're about. We're going in, we're showing them their weaknesses, their strengths, their greatnesses, their anger, their pain, and we're saying it's okay. It's all good, because that's part of who you are. There's nobody here is broken or wrong or a loser because of they have this feeling or that emotion or that thought or whatever it is. It's like, that's normal. We all have that. And it's our responsibility to support each other in that. And the EDGE does that.
We're creating a safer world where there's less brutality, where there's less aggression, where there's more emphasis put on what can I do to help you instead of what can I do to help myself? What can I do for the community in service instead of what can I do to help myself? What signals have I received that are bogus, like being tough is what it means to be a man, making a lot of money is what it means to be a man, sexual conquest is what it means to be a man. That is crap. So to unlearn those things and relearn new core values about what it means to be a thriving member in a thriving community, that's what the consequences are. On a community level, on a state level, country level, world level. If we can start to make this happen by simply listening to these kids tell us what hurts them and what matters to them, it's going to be a better world.